Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 6, episode 5, and today we've got a massive game against playoff chasing rivals Watford, as well as reflecting on another really busy January transfer window that Dougie Freedman's been in charge of, as well as many games off camera. But first, as you can see, we've still got one of the best defensive records in the league. We're conceding at less than 1 a game and we're up in 6th place, just clinging on to a playoff place at the moment. Although we did lose our last game really disappointingly against 22nd place QPR. But before all that, let's go and have a look at what Dougie's been up to during January. You were with me last just before it opened and now it's just closed, so you can see what's been going on. He tried to sell Keenan Davis, but apparently the player rejected the move. But more importantly are the ones that were done, and you could see by the fact we only had 1.1 million left, he'd obviously been fairly busy. So let's go and look at the outs first, just the one in the end. Mario Balotelli, as we mentioned, he did cut his losses. He sold him to Foggia for 600,000 and he seems to be doing okay there off the bench in Italy's top league. So we're happy to see him move on, but we wish him all the best. We've got 4 ins to talk about though, really strengthening the squad, particularly in attacking areas, and he seemed to want us to push our midfield wingers forward, so we're a little bit less stable defensively now, but we've got a threat on the break. So first with Kadeem Harris, a player you might recognise from real life. He's at Cardiff at the moment in the Premier League, but for us he's been a bit of a journeyman. Since then in the game he's been at Preston, Blackburn, Hull and Birmingham, and now he's on to Barnsley with us. He's a 3-star winger, 30 years of age, can play on the left or right, but is more comfortable on the right hand side, and he's made a few appearances off the bench for us already. A good squad player and will do a decent job. Then we move into the foreign land. Since we've been here mostly he's brought in English or British players, or players that have played in the British leagues before, but on this occasion he just went completely left field. He signed Renato Tapia for 2.2 million from AA Ghent in Belgium. He's a 3.5-star holding midfielder, 3.5-star ability and potential, a 28-year-old Peruvian international, 55 caps and a really solid pro across the board, so we're happy to have him in as well. And then Matan Hozes from Maccabi Tel Aviv in Israel, that was just under £2 million, but can rise with add-ons. Again, can play on both wing, is either footed, 3-star ability, 3.5 potential, never played for Israel but has got multiple caps for the under-21s, and again a really solid pro who can help rotate with Tiam out there. And then lastly was Ruben Sobrino on the final day of the window. He was a player that he'd agreed a pre-contract with for the summer, but at 31 then had the option to buy it out as well. So for 245 grand, we've got a 3.5-star striker, a natural poacher. It means when we're chasing a game we can go 2 up front and put someone alongside Woodrow, and it also means that we've got an option off the bench if need be to try and nick a goal when we're ahead and just need to rest the other forward. So a really good window we feel, but there are a couple of them that can't speak English, and it has caused a little bit of problems in terms of gelling the squad and dynamics. I'm sure those problems will pass though as we continue to overachieve. One of the reasons the signing of Ruben was so important is that Warren Potts has been out injured with a broken ankle, still got 2 to 3 months to go, and we really needed a backup striker as a result. If we look at the schedule to see what's been happening, we've lost a few of our recent games. The good form's just dried up a little, but we've still been winning as many as we've lost, which is all you can really ask for. So you're with me for that Leicester game, which we followed up 2 days later with a defeat of Blackburn, conceding 3 goals on this occasion. One of 2 occasions we've done that in the last few away games. We then followed it up with a 2-1 defeat of Stoke in the FA Cup. Goodwin scored a good goal in that one. We really put up a good fight against the Premier League side, but just got out-edged in the end. Lacazette being the danger man all day. A 1-0 win followed away at Swansea. Keenan Davis with a late goal off the bench. One of his only appearances, and he scored in it as well after Corley Woodrow missed the first half penalty. And then the same result at home to Derby. Nigel Armstrong from the right wing with the winner. We drew 0-0 away at Cardiff as we continued our run of clean sheets, and the 4th followed in a row as we won 2-0 at home to Hull City. That was just after the window closed. Woodrow and Tiam scored in that one. Hozes and Sobrino made their debuts off the bench, and we've also already given a game to the holding midfielder Tapia. And then just 3 days ago, away to relegation struggling QPR, we managed to throw away the game and lose 3-2. Taylor scored a free kick and Thiam scored a penalty, but from open play we didn't look like scoring at any stage. Because that was just a couple of days ago, and the fact that we're lacking fitness and we're poor, we've got a number of changes that we've made for this one. So let's go and have a look at the lineup for the Watford game. As a Luton fan, it's a game I'd love to win, but obviously the one thing that both of us have in common in Luton and Watford in real life is that we've both had a snake as manager in the last year or so. However, they're now managed by Xabi Alonso, a very good player and I'm sure a good manager as well. He's got them up there near the top, and one of my only memories was seeing him score from the halfway line against Luton in that crazy FA Cup tie about a decade ago. So what a player he was, and let's hope he can't get one over on us today. You can see, as well as the long-term injuries to Potts that we've mentioned today and Lewis that we mentioned in the last episode, we've also got Beneker out as well and a few players tired from the weekend game. So a few of those, Thiam, he's not available to play. Kelly's just coming back from another injury and isn't quite fit yet. Charlie Taylor's tired. Keenan Davis picked up a knock, as did Ethan Laird. And we've got Mowat on the bench as he's not quite fit either. We're also playing Goodwin, who's slightly tired, but we don't have any other options there. So our lineup for today sees a few of the new players get a start. Lumley's in goal. Colin and Tom Burton are the fullbacks, with Lindsay and Cook in the middle. Tapia's in the holding role with Bacuna alongside Goodwin in the middle. And then Armstrong and Hozes are on the wings with Corley Woodrow up front. So let's get into the game, and fingers crossed we can get some form of result which will appease the result we got against QPR. The 4-2-3-1 for Watford. That three behind the striker shows how good they are. De La Feu, Ibe and Armstrong. They've got Declan Rice in the holding role. Ross McCrory, who they signed for 15 million from Arsenal in the window. John Joe Kenny, Loris Karius. They've got a team of stars and players that you'd recognise from the Premier League. That Team Talk rating's awful. We're in 6th place, it's time to start improving. In terms of the form standings, to be the 6th best team in the league in form is a brilliant achievement. We're going to tell them to go out and get revenge, and fingers crossed they can do just that. It looks like a full house. We've really galvanised the club and got the fans on board this time. We're going to make a couple of quick tactical changes as well in the middle. Goodwin prefers to be the deep line playmaker, so we'll do that now. Bacuna's in the side, and he'll switch to a box-to-box role, which he's perfectly competent with. It's a corner, an in-swinger. Bacuna's going to take it, delivers to the back post. Lindsay loses out, as does Goodwin, and it falls for Tapia 30 yards out. Tapia switches the ball to Bacuna. He's over on the left-hand side, but the highlight ends with no further damage as we go to make another tactical change, as I remember that Hozes prefers to be an inside forward. We'll get him on attack and see if he can support the strikers a bit more. To compensate for that, we'll drop Tom Burton into a supporting role, which he prefers anyway as a natural centre-half. It's Watford on the right-hand side with a throw. An entertaining 5 minutes so far. Highlights at both ends, and now Rice is coming into it. Smith on the left-hand side, into the box unopposed. Colin wins the challenge, but it's back to Rice. Smith again goes for the shot, but it's comfortably high and wide, and we can deal with that all day. What a terrible away following Watford had over there. On that left-hand side, the stand was nearly empty. We've filled the home ends, and they're not doing much over there. Cassidy with the ball in. Cook heads away. Cassidy was trying to get on the end of it, sorry. Armstrong back to Godfrey. Godfrey out to the right-hand side to John Joe Kenny. He's going to deliver, but it's blocked. De La Feu, second one's blocked too, and Kenny gets it inside to Rice. It's only a matter of time, surely, with the amount of long shots scored on this game, and the fact we're giving them room 25-30 yards out, I'd imagine we're going to concede at some point. But 10 minutes gone and it remains goalless. I just noticed they've got the likes of Craig Dawson and Joel Matip on the bench as well, just in case there weren't enough big names. They've still got Isaac Success there as well, so a few bigger ones on the bench if need be. Goodwin's got the ball out on the left to Burton. Burton inside to Hozes. He's offside, and unfortunately the shot won't matter, as it was already flagged by the assistant. Burton with a throw on the left to Tapia. He gets the ball to Cook. We've got a warning to close down De La Feu, so we'll go and do that. Bacuna's giving it away in the middle. Hasn't played in central midfield since last season, I don't think. Cook heads the corner away. Not a corner, across. I'm all over the place. Goodwin goes long, and McCrory gets it back to the keeper. The commentary standard's miles off today. I would blame it on the slight sniffle and bit of man flu, but I don't think I can get away with that when it's the wrong term I'm using completely. De La Feu cuts into the box to Armstrong. Good block by Bacuna, and Hozes away to Woodrow. He switches it to Armstrong. Armstrong, but it's overhit and all he can do is head it back to the defender. Half an hour gone though, and this is by far a better performance than the QPR game, and Woodrow nearly made it a better result, but it was a last-ditch challenge to put it behind for a corner. Bacuna's going to deliver it from the near post. He goes to Lindsay, heads it up more than away, and it's gone to De La Feu, who breaks away having won the challenge. The highlight ended though, so hopefully there was no damage to our goal. It's another corner, Bacuna with the in-swinger, Lindsay knocks it down, deflects to Goodwin, and he was tired at the start of the game, but he scored the all-important goal, and I think he's levelled Woodrow as the joint top scorer now with 8. A wonderful turnout from him from midfield, and we can certainly see why there's loads of Premier League teams chasing him in every window. On the stroke of half-time we take the lead, and we're delighted to go into the break 1-0 up. Let's go and talk to the lads. We'll tell them to prove a point because that's what Winkle has said. I'm not sure I agree with it, but he's been right most of the time this season. Watford with the kick-off to Armstrong, and he finds Declan Rice in the middle. Got plenty of time. They're in no rush to get forward. They still know they've got 45 minutes. We've been caught out on the wings there with Kenny. It's one thing we're struggling with since we've changed formation. With the 2 attacking wingers we've got, the fullbacks have been caught out a little. Goodwin's coming forward again to Bacuna though. Goes for the shot. What a goal that is. It looks like Karius could have done a bit better, but it wouldn't be the first time that's been said of him, either in real life or FM. But a wonderful effort from Bacuna, and you can't score unless you have the shot. So great play from him, and we lead 2-0 at home to playoff chase in Watford. Just a quarter of the game to go on. It's Burton to take the free kick. He's put it in the top corner. I know he's a good free kick taker, but the young centre-half covering at left-back today has just put one right into the top corner of the net from 30 yards. Karius on this occasion had absolutely no chance. Armstrong's picked up a knock. Goodwin's really tired, so let's make some subs. Armstrong off on the right. We've got Kadeem Harris who can come on now. Sabrino's going to come on for Woodrow up front, who's not had the best game. He'll go into that poacher role. We'll leave it 5 more minutes, and then we'll give Goodwin a rest as well. So let's hope we can hold on for 3-0, and if it remains the case in a few moments time, we'll be able to rest Goodwin comfortably. Just under 15 to go. It looks like it's remaining the case, so let's make that sub. We'll bring on Mowat, who's also tired, but just for 10 minutes he should be okay. We'll get back into it, and hopefully we'll see out the game well. Into stoppage time, no further highlights. What a comfortable result and a brilliant second half performance, Bacuna wins the ball back. He's going long down the right hand side, puts it into Kadeem Harris. He's in 1-on-1, scores to make it 4. First goal of the season since joining for Harris. A wonderful finish 1-on-1. Bacuna with an assist to add to his brilliant goal. And now has rounded off a wonderful performance against my beloved Luton Town's rivals Watford. We're in the playoff chase against them, and we've gone right up and closed the gap to them. I think that puts us just 3 points behind, which gives us a brilliant chance of catching them. An absolutely brilliant performance, one of the best we've seen all season. Not many shots in the game, but for once we've been absolutely clinical in front of goal. A couple of screamers in there, but 2 brilliant finishes as well. Let's go and talk to the lads. We're absolutely delighted with what they've done. A complete contrast to the QPR game, and it looks like our angry team talk after that one worked. We remain in 6th place, but now just 3 points behind Watford and Ipswich. Ipswich must have lost as well. They did 2-0 at West Brom. There's still only a 3-point gap down to 7th place, so we can't get too excited just yet. There's a couple of defeats and we could be down in 10th. But it looks like we're certainly going to finish in the top half this year, as we've now got a 12-point cap with 14 to go. And hopefully we'll start getting some interest from higher sides as we look to make our move up to the Premier League, or at least the top flight in one of the big European leagues for the first time in this series. We absolutely demolished Watford. There can be no other word for it. They had 1 shot in target during the game, and we had plenty and took them as well. A round-up of the Championship. The best game was Derby-Sheffield Wednesday. I tell you what, Leicester have collapsed a bit as well. They were miles clear when we beat them in December. Now they're 2nd place and level on points with 3rd place Millwall. Bacuna was on form for us. We've got to praise him. He was absolutely brilliant and probably deserves more chances as a result. So Bennica might find it hard to get back in the team, as Goodwin seems to have found a partner in Bacuna. But if we go and have a look at the schedule for when we might next be back, we've got Crystal Palace in the next one. They've slid all the way down to mid-table. But as we go into March, we've got more of the Yorkshire derbies as we play Rotherham and both sides from Sheffield. Are any of those up near the top? Sheffield United are, but the rest of them are down in lower mid-table. So that could be the next game. Sheffield United away from home, and we should have just had our youth intake then as well. And hopefully, as Barnsley have produced so many good players in this game, we'll get another 1 or 2 special talents during this year's intake. That should perfectly line us up for the run-in then. So after that one, we'll be back for the end of the season, providing we're still in the playoff hunt and haven't been poached by another side. But if you did enjoy this episode and that performance against Watford, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments whether you think we're going to hang on. I'll go back to the competition screen so you can see how we look at the moment. Just as a reminder, we've got to play a lot of the big boys. We started our season with a few of the lower league teams and we've played a few of them already in this half of the season. So it is a tough run-in, culminating in Millwall on the final day of the season. But hopefully we've still got a chance and the young team is doing really well at this stage of the season. Credit to Dougie Freedman, who's had another really good window. Let me know in the comments what you think of his signings as well. Do you think he's done enough to help us over the line? Or do you think I'm overhyping any of his signings slightly? Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one, The Head Coach, and our other series, Part of the Furniture with Torquay United, where we're hoping to get promotion at the end of this season as well. So if you haven't caught up with that one, now's the perfect time to go back and check it out. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time for hopefully some brilliant news from a youth intake.